start?
I had 2 bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so go for it.
Hi, I'm Sara. I'm from Portland, Oregon. Am I looking at the right hole?
You're doing great.
And I've been using Lava Love now as my CBD oil for a little over a month. And I went through the last bottle really quickly because I had ACL surgery. And I was able to get off of the pain medicine by day 2. And that was really important for me because I found that while I was taking the Percocet, my pain was off the charts, and I was having this breakthrough pain at hour 3, and I was already taking the maximum dose, and I was panicking a little bit. And so I called the doctor, the nurse, and she told me to take the wrapping off, and I did that, and I was able to get the ice a little closer to the skin. And then I added in ibuprofen. So I was using acetamin and ibuprofen. I stopped taking the Percocet and used acetamin and ibuprofen for the next 10 hours because I was awake the whole time. My leg was loud. And and I was taking the CBD oil afterwards, but I determined that I was going to rely on it and get off of the pain medicine because it wasn't working. And so long as I was able to keep the ice against the skin, immediately the sensation of pain changed, and what I became aware of were different sensations. None of them I would describe as pain. It was hot, it was singing, it was a loud sensation, but there was also, it was a sensation of healing that I was experiencing.
Interesting.
And yeah, it was 100% better. It was the weirdest transition ever. I felt instantly clearer headed. I was so fuzzy headed that I had to count out the pills in the bottle 6 times to make sure, because as soon as I took them I couldn't remember if I had taken them or not. It was crazy making. I'd written down I wish I brought it, my pain dosing schedule, and I couldn't even keep that straight. It was 2 every 4 hours, 4 every 2 hours. I was just so addled, and the people around me who were going to be helping me were not helping. They were suggesting I just take more pain meds because that's what it's there for. And I Googled acetaminophen and liver damage and realized I was already at a threshold of acetaminophen intake that was putting me at risk for, irreversible liver damage. And it was, I felt so vulnerable. And for me, I instantly felt better when I made that decision to, I was bracing myself to feel some really serious pain, and I felt none. I felt everything, and then, but my, sanity returned. I could experience healing. I wasn't just a passive victim to the surgery, the trauma of surgery and coming out of anesthesia. All of that's makes you very vulnerable and emotional. But the CBD oil just eased that transition, and I believe it really, it helped me weather all of the blowback and that trauma from the surgery, and has helped me heal too. So I wasn't knotted up and tense the whole time. And I didn't even put myself on a dosing schedule. I had a dropper full, and I was trying every other healing modality you can think of. I'd already had a great protocol of naturopathic medication. So I had the arnica, and I had it was Rus toxidendrum, and some other things like that. I was taking a multivitamin, and so I really had myself in a position to heal.
So what was it like when you said you got off it in just a couple of days? What was it like when you were finally just on the CBD and dropped the meds?
Right. Well, I felt a massive detox from that medicine, and that just came out in emotions. I was crying a lot, and but the pain was manageable. So I had a little bit of excitement, and it was super encouraging. And I was just relying on the CBD oil, and everything I was doing. I was drinking a lot of green juices. I'd switched over to a raw diet, so I was giving my body every opportunity to heal, and that's what it was doing. And I was healing on from some deep emotional, psychological stuff from childhood, and it was all about my
in the
knee healing.
eclipse.
Oh yeah. Well, that
was
came
right before.
later.
Okay.
Oh, it's so funny because I use CBD oil, and I bought my first bottle of Lava Love. I'd been using some other local CBD oil, and I wanted to try it because I'd heard really good things about it. And I used it as I always had for my PMDD, my PMS, my monthly. And so I usually start a protocol about mid-month to deal with that whole shitstorm. And it helps. It's been one of the only thing that helps. And so Lava Love has been consistent for that. It's already in my medicine kit.
So what was your PMDD like before you found Lava Love, and what was it like
Oh my goodness.
after? Or CBD?
Yeah, well, the CBD oil, I was trying different things intermittently, and with variable results, and nothing was really working. And I'm still at that point where I've got a few more years of just surviving before I can get to the sweet spot of feeling that normalness. But I will say, because I was taking it consistently for my knee, and the eclipse, you mentioned the eclipse, I did have 2 monthlies this month, before and after the eclipse, which is crazy. Every girl in my household did. It was like 1 week, we were alternating every single week. It was nuts.
Really weird.
The second that I had was not preceded with the usual emotional dysregulation. I had no PMDD symptoms, and I've been
no
taking
depression, no
none,
pain,
no irrational
inflammation.
thinking, no dissociation. I mean, I get really serious symptoms, and usually they peak right before I start. And I was already taking the Lava Love CBD oil and liberally, and there was nothing. I was simply
just
surprised.
smooth sailing.
Oh yeah, it was. I didn't even see
crazy.
it coming. It was nuts. I actually thought maybe it was just a little breakthrough, and I might have been ovulating. I didn't know what was going on until 3-4 days in, I realized it was the second monthly that I was having. But
that is great.
yeah, the CBD oil has really helped me. I'm not going to go without it because it's I'm rehabilitating my knee. That's going to be a 6-month process. I've been doing, I had my first physical therapy appointment, and I'm ahead of the game. Time takes time. The graft takes time to actually anchor in and heal and become a part of my body. But I've given myself every opportunity to speed that along and strengthen the muscles. And
you've used a lot of raw foods too. That's
I
important to
have.
say.
Yes,
It kind of makes, like, when I hear your story, it makes me wonder if, like, ancient humans' experience of pain was much different than ours. Like, how much ours is impacted by the foods we eat and the medicine, you know what I mean? Like,
I do think, and
maybe
our mindset, our
everything.
reliance, this thought that we need something outside of ourselves, outside of nature, to be okay, or
and
to
maybe actually the body has it covered more than we think.
Yeah, definitely. I know before I even had the ACL surgery, I could have opted not to have it because I'd already worked up every other little muscle in my knee, but that last little piece of stability wasn't there. And so running, I had to be careful on it. And so it was almost a coin toss. And I'm a little odd. I'm a fan of surgery. I love living in my body.
Exactly.
But so I'm not afraid. I think modern medicine, there are wonderful things out there and great interventions. But just to be able to have that choice and to be able to pick and choose those things that you're going to use or participate in feels good to me. I don't like to have to take a medicine.
Yes.
I talked about my monthly, and I don't like to know that I'm lining the pockets of the pharmaceutical industry.
Exactly.
I don't like all of the side effects that go along with these medications that are worse than than what you're treating in the first place. I don't trust that, but I do trust the wisdom of nature, and I know that there's so many plants and herbs out there that as they grow in a perfect form that our body can take what it needs from, and that's for just basic nutrition and then healing as well. And it's almost an intuitive alchemy when you're in nature. If you're a gardener and you're around plants, they can in a way just speak to you. Things come to you. And I felt that way taking Lava Love. The first time I took it, it felt right. There was an easement. I didn't have any I just felt better.
Yeah,
honestly.
no side effects. That's what was shocking
None.
to me.
None. Yeah.
I've been, dealing with illness for 10 years, and every time someone would give me an herb, there'd be some horrible price to pay. And with CBD, it was the first time I took an herb, and nothing happened bad.
Right.
Which is good.
Yeah, I got to watch my twin sister take it, and we both have PMDD, and so she had started taking CBD oil before I did, and this wasn't the Lava Love kind, but she's now switched over to Lava Love also.
Sister.
Yeah, but she was taking a lot of another kind of CBD oil and taking droppers full at a time to get through the day, and it was helping her. But I think that there was an upper limit of what could be expected as far as help from that oil. And then I spoke with my naturopath, who had been working with another naturopath who treated people who were experiencing pain, and she was using CBD oil. I'll get her your name, because you could probably partner with her or something. But there's work being done in the community around this, and they're getting the evidence. There'll be plenty of scientific evidence to back up a lot of research and support for that empirical evidence. It's always nice to have but the anecdotal stuff for me is convincing enough. When I see somebody like Carmelita, I had referred Carmelita to cryotherapy for her shoulder, and that helped and it worked, but there were limits to what she could expect to gain from that treatment. And CBD oil was just another way for her to support herself in healing. She had that chronic overuse kind of rotator cuff injury, and wasn't about to stop cutting hair, so it's like she needed something to kind of get through the day.
Okay, so we've got 10 seconds. If you had to sum it up, what would you say how your life has changed from CBD oil, Lava Love CBD oil?
Wow, I think the difference is pronounced. It's very dramatic. I can't imagine not having CBD oil in my medicine kit. It is just, it's a big gun. It's easy, it's gentle, and it's natural, and there are no side effects, and you can use it for so many different things. I've used it for my kids, my daughters also. Everybody suffers from anxiety or depression at least sometime, and some of us have it, as a matter of being sensitive people living in today's world. And the Lava Love CBD oil is just a natural supplement that I keep with me.
And it doesn't make
some
you
in my
stoned.
Purse.
That's a really important.
Not at all. No, I don't feel any.
Nothing.
There's no mind-altering effect.
It's just calming, anti-inflammatory. You feel
and it doesn't take a lot. I was mentioning
that's the thing.
My sister was taking droppers full of another kind. I moved to a tiny little spray bottle for so I could keep it in my pocket. Yeah. And this little tiny spray bottle maybe puts out a few drops of the regular dropper full of Lava Love, and that's all it takes. I mean,
interesting.
I can feel like less is more sometimes.
Yes.
Your body
you don't need a lot. Even at a low milligram dosage, I think 2 drops or 1 milligram, people can do 2 to 4 drops and feel it.
Yeah.
So I always say it's as strong as some other oils with their stronger whatever level. Our regular level is like a stronger level at a smaller dosage, and that's because it's a full spectrum hemp plant. I don't know why.
You mean the concentrate?
Yeah, it's strong. Now there's other brands. I'm gonna stop